Hey YouTube, Happy New Year. This is Johnny. Welcome back to my channel. What you have in front of you today is my Sig P226 Enhanced Elite in 9mm. And it comes in response to Gunsmokeguy, who purchased a P226 and has the same enhanced ergonomic grip that came with this Elite. And you may have seen probably a year and a half ago, the E square or the E2, which mainly just means enhanced ergonomics. And this is the grip that comes with that. And this is a fine grip, feels good. The texturing on it, you can get a real nice purchase on this. But some individuals have a little bit of problem. He has a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. And he just feels that maybe he needed something to feel a little bit better as far as his grip was concerned. And so I told him that I had some good news for him, because I was able to change out the grips on the P226 Enhanced Elite that I have. And the reason why I did it, I have medium hands, and this grip fits me perfectly. It wasn't so much about the grip. That's not the reason why I changed it. It's because I like the Tac Ops, and the Tac Ops has this these Magwell grips. These Magwell grips are very, very nice, and they are the regular full size. Maybe not as chunky as the wood grips that come with the Sigs, but a notch lower. And so the purchase on this weapon is a little fuller than this. This will work with small hands and medium hands, but once you start getting into the larger hands, some people just feel a little bit uncomfortable. They don't feel like they can get a full purchase and feel like they have the full grip on the weapon. And so what I did was I went to Top Gun Supply, and it's one of the few sites that carry this Magwell grip for the Tac Op version. And so I did some research and went through all the forums and stuff, and found a guy that had attempted this, and it worked fine. And the thing is that with the box that comes with your enhanced ergonomic Sig Sauer, there is a tool. It's a flat tool. I don't have the tool simply because I purchased this weapon used, and I just purchased a weapon with one 15-round magazine, and so there was no box included or anything. I got it at a very, very good price. I just couldn't pass it up. It had been unfired, and so I purchased a weapon, but in that box comes a plastic tool. It's probably about 10 to 12 inches long, and it has somewhere towards the top, it has a cross T. It's flat, and then it has a cross T across it. And if you've seen that tool before, what you have to do is you have to take the slide off of your Sig Sauer, and once you take the slide off of the Sig Sauer, what you're going to do is you're going to take that tool, you're going to stick it up the Magwell, and then what you're going to do is you're going to twist it. And when you twist it, what's going to happen is that it's going to pry apart this these grips. And then what you're going to be able to do at that point is you're going to, once it's pried apart, you're going to be able to slip it off. Now I'll say this, there's some springs in here and on the other side that you have to be very careful that as you're prying this out, make sure that you pry up on the top edges also, so that you'll make some room as this slips off, that it doesn't catch those springs or bend those springs, because then you'll have a bad day. You're going to have to go out and you're going to have to order it. But if you do it properly, it's a simple task. It's just take the slide off and then put the tool into the Magwell, turn it, and as you turn it, it will pry apart the grip, and then just ease it off of the top, and as you pull it off, it'll come out just fine. And then what you do is you go to topgunsupply.com, and what you do is you purchase the Magwell grips. You go to the Sig parts, to the grip section, and go to where it says Sig Sauer, and then you'll find this Magwell set of grips. on the site. And what I'll show you is that's very important. If you're going to do that, is don't forget to order the screws, because the screws are not included with this type of Magwell grip. I do want to say that it's a little more chunky. It's not as bad at all as the wood grips that come with some of the Elite versions. But it's less chunkier than the wood ones, and I have medium hands, and this thing fits me fantastic. Just want to show you, as I'm handling this weapon, that there's been a safety check, that this weapon's already been safety checked. And so this is not really a review of the weapon, because there's tons of reviews online. One thing I can tell you about this weapon is that this weapon is a sewing machine. As a 9mm, I was very, very surprised. I had purchased a 40 caliber. Didn't really like the sharp snappiness. I'm a 10mm guy. I love 10mm. I like the 38 Super, but 40 has always been one of those. As a matter of fact, I have a Glock 27 that I admire more as far as the shootability than the actual Sig that I had purchased, and so that's my daily carry. It's a Glock 27, you know, in the 40 Smith & Wesson, and I enjoyed that very much, but for some reason or another in the Sig it wasn't too appealing to me. But in 9mm, I don't know why I didn't look towards the Sig P226. I've owned many weapons, very good weapons, but I didn't realize how good the P226 is. I mean, this thing is smooth. The recoil, I mean, this thing balances out tremendously. And then the thing is that if you go to Top Gun Supply, you can find these grips, and on top of that, you can also find these Mec-gar magazines. Now, they say 18, they say 18, but this extension here adds an extra 2. So we're talking about 20 rounds of 9mm plus 1 in the chamber. That's 21 rounds. Now, the factory mags that come with this P226 is a 15 rounder, and it's very important that some guys understand something, because I was telling a Gunsmoke guy, he was having some problems with some feeding issues, and that's very, very rare out of a new Sig. I'm not saying it can't happen, but the majority of the complaints that I read on a lot of the forums with guys having the misfeed problems, the majority of them are due to the trashy magazines that Sig Sauer includes with their new guns. Now, you know, they provide you with 2 or 3 magazines, but, you know, what's the sense of getting 3 magazines if they're trash? Now, one of the things that Sig Sauer has done is, somehow or another, they have thrown in the mix Mec-gar magazines, and so this is what you do. If you're having feeding problems with a brand new Sig and you've already shot 100, 200, you're waiting for that break-in period, it's not happening the way you want it to happen, and you're still having issues, this is what you should do from the get-go. When you get your Sig Sauer, what probably would be a good idea is for you to go ahead and look at the edge of your magazine and see if it says Mec-gar, made in Italy. If your magazines are not the Mec-gars made in Italy, 8 times out of 10 you're going to have problems with those magazines on that Sig. And so this is what you need to do. If that is your situation, then you need to call Sig Sauer and say, hey, my gun didn't come with the Mec-gars, I'm having feeding issues and problems, and I need to have these mags exchanged. And 9 times out of 10, if you're talking to someone at Sig and you call in a friendly manner, they will respond. Their customer service is pretty good. And so that may be one of your issues, so I'm letting you know right now. So this is what I did. I went on Top Gun Supply, purchased the grips, purchased the screws, and purchased 2 of these magazines. These are Mec-gar magazines. And then what I did was I transformed my Sig P226 Enhanced Elite into a Tac Ops model. Now this has a short reset trigger just like the Tac Ops does. The only difference between this weapon and the Tac Ops right now, the way it sits, is that the front sight is not the fiber optic sight that comes with the weapon, and this is something that's easily changed, but I really don't need that because this comes with the Sig lights, night sights, and they work perfectly well. And I do want to say that this is a fine shooting gun. It's you know it's easily in the top 10 9mm worldwide, and it has a great history. And I'm very satisfied with this weapon. I've put probably about 300 rounds through it, completely flawless. Okay, so this is just taking a couple of minutes. A shout out to Gunsmokeguy and you guys out there. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that it was informational. Take care. Please take time to subscribe. You have a good day.